Activision devs do not play their own game. It's not your dad doesn't support you.
You should know, you worked at a coffee shop, you stupid bitch.
My name is Casey, and absolutely not fucking Tanner, because my parents don't hate me that much.
Hey, did they have just 8 patches lined up, but they just didn't release them because they were on break? No, you moron kids.
Then we'll, of course, get into it. Change your fucking name and get scammed. He's feeling under the weather.
I probably won't say another word until Stay Humble, so have a good pod, Raz. I'll be here listening.
Got it. We are live. Welcome, boys and girls, to the Dropshot Call of Duty podcast, episode number 257. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon. I am joined, but first, before that, if you're a new listener, there are timestamps, and you can skip announcements. So, if you want to get straight into the Season 5 business, you can. Go look at the timestamps. I'm joined by Tanner, my little bud. He's got a He's got a plain white T-shirt on. Hey there, Tanner.
Hey.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
What do you got in that tumbler?
Water.
You're not gonna crack open a Truly?
You made fun of me.
I did.
I may in a little bit. Yeah, they're so good, man. Fuck, they taste so delicious. They're not Trulies. These are Bud Light seltzers. Chris put me on them.
That sounds even worse.
They're like flavored ones. There's like watermelon mojito, margarita.
Yeah.
One is like strawberry daiquiri, and the other is some like tropical cocktail. It's called. I think they're good. They're really good.
I would hope they weren't unflavored seltzers. Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
That would be disgusting, in fact. Ooh, the air just kicked on. Welcome to the show. Today we are not talking about Trulies anymore. Yeah, Jake was talking all about Trulies. And I went through like a week, and I was like, yeah, these are good. These are really good. And then I don't like them at all now.
I've realized now Trulies are like the worst tasting ones, yeah. It's kind of just, I think, what everyone starts off with, because they're like the most popular brand. But they're like the worst ones I've had now, actually. They're all like too sweet and don't taste enough like what it says it's supposed to taste like. That's why these Bud Light ones are actually good. Like that shit, you drink that watermelon mojito, at the end of it, you're like, oh my God, man, that tastes like I'm drinking a little mojito. Like you get the mint in your mouth. It's good. It's really good. I'm shocked.
Yeah, well.
I had one for breakfast as soon as I woke up.
Did you?
That's all I had for breakfast.
I had a cigarette. Shaking as you reached for it.
I had a cigarette and a watermelon mojito and took some pills. Yeah.
Without some booze.
Yeah, that was my breakfast.
Yeah. There's some fake TikTok account of this guy who pretends he's an alcohol addict, and he makes TikToks about how he's waking up and hiding his liquor consumption from his wife. Gets millions of views on TikTok, by the way.
Is it funny?
No, he's trying to be serious. He's trying to trick people, like, don't drink alcohol or you'll look like me. It's like, dude, if you're this drunk, you are not making TikToks that are all fucking edited. They have captions. Suck my dick. This is all fake.
Do the comments think it's real?
And he's literally like reaching for vodka in the morning, and his hand is like shaking, and he's meanwhile, the guy's fucking filming this on his phone, getting the right angles and shit. Fuck you. There's no shot you're this down tremendous and hiding it from your wife and making a viral TikTok account about it. Suck me off. It makes me so mad people fall for it.
Yeah.
Really pisses me off.
Yeah.
No, what pisses me off are those prank couples that are all verified everywhere. They have 10 million
they prank
YouTube
each other.
subs. Not one of them ever has been funny or believable, and millions of people think it's legit and funny. I can't think of their name right now. I had to block. I think years ago, I'm like, I never want to see these people again. I blocked them on TikTok. I blocked them on Twitter because I would see their shit. I'm like, I fucking despise this couple. They're not good at acting. Like, it's so obvious, and people are like, oh my God, this is like so funny. Holy shit. And it's like, I don't know. I'm mind blown at how dumb people are to believe half of this shit and think it's real.
I couldn't agree more.
It's insanity.
And speaking of dumb people, welcome to the show. We've got a couple announcements before we get into it. Season 5 is here. We got a lot to talk about. We've got some patch notes. to digest, with actually a lot of fairly good changes from what I've seen so far. And before that, welcome to our new patrons. Tanner, we got a lot of new patrons. A lot of people are very excited about the overhaul. And if you want details on the overhaul, you can go listen to our last episode, 256. Or, I can just tell you now, all patrons starting in September will get all of our public EPs ad-free, and they'll get them early in audio form, which is a fucking barn burner deal or something. It's not the right phrase. It doesn't matter. But people are very excited about that, obviously, and it's showing here, I think, because we got a couple new patrons in anticipation. And now is a great time to join, I would say. And we're giving away the game, which we'll talk about not today, I guess. Maybe we should have, but we're not gonna. It doesn't matter.
We're not gonna, yeah.
Welcome to our new gold patrons, Marcus. Welcome aboard, buddy. No profile picture and just a name. I support this. Nothing wrong with this. Haven't heard someone named Marcus in a while, to be honest.
Yeah, not since high school.
Yeah, not a lot of Marcuses these days. This guy must be in his 30s. I would venture to guess. So, Marcus, welcome aboard, buddy. Very much appreciate it. Tyler S. as well. Welcome aboard the Patreon. He copied a profile picture of mine, which is very interesting. A Harris Heller remake picture I made a while ago. I like it. It's fun. But don't copy other men's pictures, you know? It's kind of weird. Tyler.
You don't like the picture of you?
I like the picture of me on my profile. Not on Tyler S's Patreon profile. No, I don't, as a matter of fact. It reminds me of grown-ass men wearing sports jerseys with the names of other men on their back. I think I've said this before on this broadcast at some point. Real fucking weird. Real weird.
That's
You're wearing
not weird
LeBron
You're weird
James's
for
jersey.
Thinking that.
It's weird.
It's more weird if you put your own name on like a Lakers jersey. That's what's weird. Is people who get it customized and put their own name on it.
That's also very weird, yeah.
There's nothing weird about wearing a sports jersey with your favorite player's name on it. You're literally the only person I've ever heard bring that up ever. Yeah, what I always hear is it's weird putting your own name on it. So I think you're just the weird one.
I've never heard that because I've never seen that before. You're not a sports fanatic
like me.
You've
never seen. It's real embarrassing. I get secondhand embarrassment seeing that.
That's really embarrassing, yeah. That's worse, probably.
Yeah.
Unless you actually are on the team. Then you can wear the jersey, obviously. That's fine. But it's weird. I don't know. You
own a glorious esports jersey, man. Are you on the esports team?
Wait, what? The mouse company?
Yeah. The Glorious or Steel Series. You have an esports jersey. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
does it say Glorious on the back?
It's not a team, first of all. And it's not that it's not that you're like repping your favorite team. It's like specifically one guy. It's like, this is weird. It feels weird to me. I don't know. I don't like it.
Interesting.
I find it bizarre. It's fine. It's not the end of the world.
I just think when people are wearing plain jerseys, I'm like, oh, they're broke. Because the plain jerseys are like $100 less than getting someone's name on it. I didn't know a plain jersey
even existed, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. You can get plain jerseys, customize a player's jersey. Yeah.
I did get, when I was a boy, a Jerry West jersey, and it was like the old school, the blue and white one. It was fucking dope, dude.
Really?
It was very cool. Yeah, I was very proud of that. I used to play basketball all the time as a boy, as a young lad.
I have a custom signed poster from AC Green. Remember that guy that was on the Lakers fucking years ago?
Sounds
Shaq,
familiar.
And one other guy's signature on it. And it says like to Tanner. Yeah, because one of our like neighbors or family friends, like their son worked for the Lakers or something. That's cool. So they got it for me for my birthday.
I have a picture with Shaq.
I don't know where it's at. I think I burned it.
Shaq has gripped my body and lifted it off of the earth.
He's just holding you from the back of your neck.
No, dude, he grabbed, I think it was like, he like took his left hand and went like at my ankle, and then his right hand like under my armpit. And then he pretended to dunk me into a little... I was at like the Nickelodeon Slime Fest or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know what it was, but Hollywood Universal Studios, I think, is what it was. I must have been 5 or 6. And I went up to Shaq. I was like, Shaq, I have your shoes on, because he had like his own shoes.
I can just imagine some scrawny little white
my
kid.
mom was like, go say hi to him. Go say hi to him. And of course, Shaq is a super fucking nice guy, right? So my mom tells me, I don't remember this at all, but my mom tells me he like laughed like, ho, ho, ho. And then saw my mom and then picked me up and pretended to dunk me in this bucket full of water balloons. And so I have a picture of it somewhere.
He would be accused of sexual assault now. If he touched a kid, they would try to sue him for all he's worth.
Yeah, for sure.
And your mom probably just thought it was funny.
Yeah, like a normal fucking person. Yeah,
but you know, parents in 2022 would sue him. Oh, he touched my kid.
Yeah. That would be like being on Epstein's fucking plane. Yeah. It would be the same thing in equivalently.
Well, then nothing would happen to you.
So anyway, Tyler, thanks. Welcome, buddy. Change your profile picture, obviously. And also, Nicholas M., another new gold patron. First of all, don't say Nicholas, say Nick. We know what Nick is short for. That's a lot of syllables. Second of all, your profile picture is literally you kissing a woman, maybe your mother or your sister.
I didn't even see them. Yeah.
Not pretty weird. Really weird. Hey, babe, let's kiss, and then I'm also going to take a selfie while we're doing it.
And then I'm going to upload it to Patreon.
And then I'm going to upload it to patreon.com. Yeah, that's real fucking strange. So these are the types of people that spend money on our podcast. Well, you would think, yeah.
Congratulations on the sex, man.
Yeah, congrats on the sex. So
nice
Nick
beard
M,
line, it looks like.
Change it, delete that picture, obviously, and don't do it again. Aren't you embarrassed? Hey, babe, can we take a picture of us kissing? Like, how embarrassing is that to app?
Maybe they said on a timer. Or you didn't hold it.
Which is embarrassing. Hey, babe, I'm going to set a timer. So on the count of 3.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. Nick, I fucking hate it. But also, welcome, buddy, and thanks for being a gold patron. Very much appreciate it. More than you all, welcome to our new platinum patron, Harps, in Leet Speak.
Yeah, don't say Harps. Say it how it's spelled out, man. Say it how it's written.
You can. I'm not going to.
Got it. Okay. I don't care.
Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to say it.
Well, you felt real strongly about it.
H4RP5, welcome.
Cool. You happy, Harps, that you did that?
Why? Does that make you feel good, man?
Leet Speak is $19.99. Stop doing it. And welcome, though, to the Platinum Patreon, buddy. Appreciate that. Profile picture's fine. I have no complaints. Don't upload one at all.
He looks happy.
That's my problem.
Interesting. That's the first person to join the Patreon that's not like clinically depressed.
That looks happy, yeah.
Clinically depressed, mentally unstable, madman. Yeah, he looks happy. Good for you, man.
Well, maybe he had just gotten his dosage right. That could explain it.
That could be it. What the fuck is this?
So, anyway.
God.
So, appreciate that, Harps. Welcome now, more than you, to our new Damascus patrons or upgraders. First off here, again with a profile picture of his sunglasses.
Jesus Christ.
Sean P. Welcome aboard, buddy. Very much appreciate that. Don't appreciate the sunglasses picture or the picture at all. Again, stop. The name's fine, I guess. But why? This isn't even interesting. I wonder if this is the whole picture or if he just zoomed in on a part of it for Patreon.
Well, you have to crop it, obviously, for Patreon, so I assume it's that. It was probably his whole face. It was probably him driving his Ford F-250 with one hand out like that, and then he took a selfie as he was driving.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah, this is right after he spit some dip into a Dixie cup. For sure. Yeah, so Sean P., welcome aboard, buddy. Change your picture. And welcome to the Absolute Patreon. Also, a brand new Damascus patron, Priceless G. Change it, obviously. No profile picture this time. A well-adjusted, well, probably not. I mean, you're a patron after all, but you didn't do the profile picture at least. I'll give you that. I fucking hate the name, though. Priceless G. Oops. Yikes. Can't stand it.
What's up, G?
And change it. And don't call yourself priceless. It's weird. I don't get it. I mean, I don't know, man. it's uninteresting to me, and it's weird. It's very self-indulgent, I think. Priceless G. Let other people call you priceless G.
Hey man, call me priceless.
Change all of it, but also welcome aboard to the Absolute Damascus Patreon. Also, we have an upgrader going to Damascus, Blake W. Here's what happened. Blake signed up for the Patreon. He loved it, and he wanted even more. He or she, I guess. Probably he. And was like, you know what? I want them behind the scenes eps. I want those monthly hangouts. I want and more. Holy shit. He went to patreon.com/thedropshot and wanted even more. Blake, thanks for the upgrade, dude. Very much appreciate it. Have an unambiguous gendered name, though. Don't be like me. Don't name yourself Casey or Blake. Make it clear what you are, you know, what your identity is. And now, welcome to our new real king of the dumb fucks. Better people than everyone we've talked about so far. Also the lowest IQs of everyone we've talked about so far. We've got some Obsidian Patron upgraders. Obsidian Patron, there are 5 slots total. I think there's like 1 or 2 available now. This tier gets everything Damascus gets, and that's it. And they get a new Discord role. So if you're real deep in the Discord and you want to tell everyone how much money you like to piss away, then you can upgrade to this tier. For no other reason than that, you can do it.
The new black name does look nice, though, in Discord. I'm jealous. I wish our names were black, to be honest with you.
The obsidian-colored Discord name.
Can I be Obsidian? Can you give me the Obsidian role?
You can sign up for Obsidian, yeah.
I guess I could, yeah.
I'm in control of the absolute coffers, so we could do that. But that's all you'd get, and these gentlemen thought it was worth it. It's not. But thanks, Chris K, upgrading to Obsidian. Which
Another
is a
Chris.
big, steep upgrade. We now have 2 Christophers as Obsidian patrons. Chris, I don't know. I don't know what his last name is. Doesn't matter. Chris Boomertown Gaming is also an Obsidian patron, and we love and appreciate that. And Chris K is hopping on board as well. So, I don't know what happened to you in your childhood, and I'm sorry, Chris, but welcome aboard, buddy. I appreciate the upgrade, and we'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah.
See how long it takes for you to come to your senses. But welcome aboard, buddy. Very, very generous and very much appreciated. Also, upgrading to Obsidian, Rougarou V2. I've always loved saying that name. I don't know what it means, but this guy's been listening forever. I mean, this is a name from the fucking early days. Season 0 of the Dropshot podcast. I believe he said he started listening to episode 20, which is a lot of episodes. So he's seen the whole kit and caboodle, as they say, which is a lot. There's a lot of kit and caboodle attached to this podcast. And Rougarou V2 has seen all of it, and he's upgraded. So I hate your name, but it's fun to say, so keep it. And welcome aboard, buddy. Very generous, very kind of you. Very dumb of you. But we really appreciate the upgrade. Appreciate that contribution. And for listening forever. We appreciate that too. It's very, very cool. Not many people have been listening that long. So we really appreciate that, dude. So all of our patrons, thank you guys. That took a while. And if we keep getting so many fucking patrons, we might have to speed these things along. But I did warn you, there are timestamps. Could have skipped it if you wanted to. That was an option for you. And you so far, you've chosen not to do that. So it's your fault. And stay mad. Patreon.com/thedropshot. Soon to offer ad-free and early access for all of our episodes. We also do bonus episodes. We do monthly hangouts and more. It is the best way to support the show. And it is the best way to get more of the program if you're enjoying it. Once again, patreon.com/thedropshot. Now, on to some more announcements before we get into this broadcast.
Nice.
First of all, we've got a new sponsor. You're going to hear an ad read in this fucking episode, in fact, for our new sponsor. And this is like an important month for a new sponsor. Every time we get a new sponsor, it's very important that you fucking idiots, okay, support the program by supporting the sponsors. So you need to do that. So, hey, who are you sponsored by right now? Great question. Join the Discord. Go to the information panel. There's a new channel called Our Partners. You can see everyone that we are partnered with, where to go, and what promo code and shit to use, and what you get for it. And our newest sponsor is True Classic Tees. I'm not wearing one right now. It's noon. I don't believe Tanner is either.
Mine are already dirty. I already wore all three of mine.
If you wanted to see like an example of that t-shirt, I was wearing it on Saturday's episode because it was the evening. Great t-shirt, fits real nice. I was talking a lot about it in the pre-show and the announcements, in fact. Super soft, super comfortable. But also, most importantly, they're sponsoring us now. So what do you need to do? Okay, and you'll hear this again in this very episode, in fact. TrueClassicTees.com. Use promo code Dropshot for 1/4 off your order. 25% discount. That's a steep, hefty discount. A quarter off. Use promo code Dropshot. The first month is very important, so you need to do it now to support the goddamn podcast. And thanks in advance, and you'll be glad you did. I like the shirts a lot, actually. Have you worn one on the program?
Yeah, we both wore it on
Saturday.
What's a Saturday we wore them? Yeah.
I wore mine on Saturday. You might have.
I wore two of mine on Saturday, yeah. I was wearing one color, then I was like, this doesn't go with what I'm wearing. I'm going to change. Then I wore the same color you were wearing. I did a little live
I remember that.
Outfit change, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, make sure you guys are helping us out, especially in the first month. We would appreciate that. And then you can go to our partners in Discord if you want to help out more. So other than that, Tanner, any announcements?
No. Okay. No, I don't think there is. No.
But other than that, I guess I'll say one more thing. We have a lot of Patreon episodes coming up. So for all of you who are patrons, we've got plenty more to do. We've got them all slated. We're going to start recording this week, and we'll pump all those out by the end of the month. Obviously, a lot of it, maybe even all of it, is going to be Season 5 focused. We wanted to get that new content in. We wanted to play it, and we wanted to talk about that for the bonus episodes, because those are the most value in our opinion. So expect a lot of those to be hitting your tiny little feeds toward the end of the month. You guys will get all your bonus episodes, duh. So keep an eye on the Patreon. All right, if you're listening for the jingle, here it is. Biggie Smalls, welcome back with the Prime 11 absolute months. Very kind of you, buddy. Almost a year. Appreciate that Prime sub. Shigeru Miyamoto. Change it. Welcome back. Tier 1, 2 months in a row. And 3 total. He says, get scammed. Shigeru Miyamoto. Welcome back, sir. Very much appreciate the 3 months. And Tanner Dropshot. Thanks right there. All right. Welcome to the show. Today.
Got it.
Season 5. Holy absolute shit. We've got the launch of Season 5 today for Warzone. And we've also got the delicious... Oh, I got to open OBS here. Hold on. The delicious patch notes for Season 5. So, big content drop. This is, in fact, the last season of Warzone. Before we enter the glorious, beautiful Warzone 2, we are going to go through the patch notes. Obviously, a lot of this we will have already talked about with the roadmap, but we've got some more specifics to get into, to discuss, and to analyze for you. So here is a look at all the playlist updates. I don't care. None of this is very interesting or different. Just a lot of rotating stuff.
Well,
that doesn't matter as far as I'm concerned. But Tanner wants to talk about it.
Well, it's the first time they've ever done this. During the week, Monday through Thursdays now, every day they're going to be rotating playlists. And by the way, Iron Trials is one of those. Not Titanium Trials, Iron Trials. That's going to be rotated.
I did not notice that. That is cool.
In every couple days. So Caldera Iron Trials quads will be in, and Rebirth Iron Trials quads will be in, and they'll be rotated with some other things with Caldera Resurgence, Rebirth Resurgence. So yeah, we're not going to tell you what the specifics are, but every weekday they're going to be changing, rotating. So pay attention to that.
Pretty smart for them because it incentivizes people to actually get on to see
exactly
what the list is on. It's kind of smart.
Yeah.
So anyway, that actually is cool. I didn't notice Iron Trials. But yeah, that's good and better than Titanium Trials probably. So there's that. The Battle Pass, don't care. Events. Heroes vs. Villains, a Last Stand community event, which is now till September 14th. Choose your side, lead them to victory. We've already talked about this. I was looking for some gameplay of this. I have not seen it yet. It's probably fine.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
But I will be playing this probably today. I'm going to start leveling some of the guns. Give this a little shot. But yeah, that's in now. It'll be for a while. Let's see. Or excuse me. Operation Last Call is the LTM I was just talking about. This Heroes versus Villains is the community event thing where you go to the thing, you see who has more points. It doesn't fucking matter at all. So Operation Last Call is the LTM. This is now in. I don't know if this goes till September 14th. Maybe it would end a little sooner than that. Not sure. But it's inspired by Search, blah, blah, blah. We've talked about this. There are no real new details here. So I would play that once or twice, see what it's like, and then whatever.
Maybe good for leveling guns because you do start with your loadout like Plunder. Yes, so we'll see if there's how it works, if you level it quickly or not.
Yeah. And it is cool to try a search and destroy mode with a bunch of people. I am curious to see how that plays. But at the end of the day, it is still an LTM, so whatever. Fortune's Keep Resurgence mode update. This is interesting. So solos is going to now be 50 players instead of 45. Duos is going to be 50 instead of 46. Trios 51 instead of 45. And quads is going to be 52 instead of 40.
Jesus.
So this is adding between, 2 and 3 teams with the exception of solos. That is going to be kind of big for, I think, every game mode, honestly. That's a lot more players, especially quads. 3 more teams is going to make Fortune's Keep a lot more fast-paced. And this was one of the big criticisms. We did not have it ourselves, but we were hearing it a lot, is that Fortune's Keep was too slow or whatever. And that's kind of what Tanner and I liked about it.
They're saying it was dying off early, yeah.
So. This should be interesting for those of you who play Fortune's Keep. You think this is going to be that big of a deal, Tanner?
I think quads is where it'll feel a lot different. From 40 to 52 is a lot of people added. So I think quads will feel different. Because depending on where you landed, it could be a little slow off the start, I guess, if you're landing in weird spots. We never had that issue, but I can see how that happens. Compared to Rebirth, I feel like you land at any POI and there's at least another team there. I feel like in Fortune's Keep, you could land places and be alone. So maybe it'll be a little bit hotter off rip, maybe keep the lobby alive longer, but I don't know. Yeah, I just hope it doesn't make it feel too fast-paced now, because that's what we always said about Fortune's Keep, was it felt more BR-like than Resurgence-like, and that's what was different and interesting about it for us. Like, Rebirth is just so boring and stale to me. I genuinely don't know how people still play that every single day, day in and day out. I think this will be good. People early on wanted at least 60 people. I was like, that's way too many. So maybe this is a good middle ground that we could still be happy with, and it also pleases people like that still too.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully, I agree with you. And they also say here, with the increase in additional player, we've also increased the availability of supply boxes, as we've been happy with the pacing of looting relative to squad size. And I think the looting on Fortune's Keep's always been pretty good. So that's a good little change to see. Next, we have Caldera map updates. Volcanic Peak, reworked POI. So yeah, I mean, nothing really new here. We already saw from the screenshots that Caldera's peak was going to be changed up, look a little different. You can see that here. We have not played yet, but we will, and we'll keep you guys posted. But peak does not look all that different to me. And I don't think it's going to play significantly differently, but there you go. There's some lava. But this building on the side, we talked about a lot. This is actually a big deal. I really like that there's a building on the side of this mountain. There needed to have been more from day one, frankly.
Yeah, that POI is massive too.
But yeah, exactly, yeah. But this is a start for sure. And there's some more pictures here. You could also just get into the game and see it yourself. This looks kind of cool, like the rocks inside the room. I like that.
Oh, look. That does. Yeah, that's cool.
So Task Force Tyrants HQ.
Change it.
POI expansion. Oh, okay.
I think they just mean peak expansion.
Yeah, this is part of peak.
Yeah.
No self-respecting villain would operate without an evil lair. Change it. As such, Task Force Tyrants has claimed peak and given it somewhat of a hazardous makeover. An interior creek with flowing lava, basalt columns and stepping stones, a giant, colorful, ornate crest for their secret org, and a beautiful vista looking out over a war-torn
That
Caldera.
really is beautiful.
That room is fucking dope. This does give me evil. This does give me James Bond villain vibes for sure. So they got the
looks
vibe.
like the future Dropshot mansion in Beverly Hills overlooking LA.
Yeah. Well,
it's just like it.
Patreon.com/.
I think we only need 2 more Obsidian patrons and we should be able to afford that.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive. So, we've also got the Boiler Room, the new Gulag. As Tanner and I suspected, this is a remake of the original Gulag Showers, Gulag, which is a good decision. Certainly better than the last fucking Gulag we had on Caldera, so I like that.
Oh, yeah.
I am excited to play this, and it's going to be, again, better than the dog shit Gulag we've had until now on Caldera. It's called Boiler Room. So, Sunrays.
And it does. That's the only screenshot that it shows. I was watching gameplay. It is the same exact layout as Showers.
How's the lighting inside?
Oh, terrible. There is a haze. There is a nebula gas haze throughout the whole thing. Pretty dope, man. Glad they added that.
Really need that. I really love ambiance when I'm trying to see people in Gulag.
Yeah, you like that, man?
So.
Thought you'd enjoy it, yeah.
That's just fucking fantastic. So, anyway, sun rays through smoke. Speaking of haze, the storm is cleared on Caldera, the sunlight peeking through the volcano's billowing smoke. Again, haven't played Warzone yet since this update, but I was watching some streams today. The visibility, at least on these streams, looked like fine outside.
Yeah. It looked about the same, I think.
Yeah, it did. Probably going to be like a different temperature. But as far as visibility goes, I think it looks about the same, which was fine on Caldera outside.
Mostly fine.
So that's something. So there you go. Next, Rebirth Island map updates. Sunset, new weather and lighting. I have not seen Rebirth gameplay yet. This does not look fine.
I don't think it's even in right now. That's why. I haven't seen it either.
This looks like a disaster. This is really dark. This screenshot is really fucking dark. And not good at all. Like, I really don't like this at all.
Yep, I know.
Now, maybe it looks different in game, but boy, is this dark. I mean, this is actual sunset. Like, that sun is just groundhogging. I don't like it at all.
It looks really pretty in the screenshots, but that's not something you want to play, trust me. It looks dope from that screenshot. I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like, excellent for like a single player mission or something, but the shadows are going to be insanely dark. Actually, like, you're not going to see anything. Rose skin's going to be nuts. Yeah.
This is bad. Almost certainly, yeah. And then Rebirth After Dark, which is like I guess like an LTM kind of thing. Yeah, Rebirth Island will also receive a special LTM, Rebirth After Dark, on Friday, September 2nd through the 4th. Oh, wow. It's only for 3 days. Allows players to experience this fan favorite after the sun has set. That's kind of fucking weird. A 2-day LTM.
Yeah, again, weird timing. I don't know what that is. Looks kind of cool, though. I don't know.
I'll play it. It looks cool, for sure. It's an LTM, so if you want to make the lighting terrible for a limited time on an unserious game mode, go for it. I just hate when they're making lighting bad on a core game mode. That's not good.
Well,
Don't do that.
unironically, that lighting will probably be better than the sunset mode
they'll actually put a lot of lights
because
in,
there will be
yeah.
like moonlight and there'll be other light. Sunset
True.
will just be everywhere will be darker where the sun's not casting, and those shadows are going to be super dark. Rebirth After Dark LTM will have the same lighting everywhere, I think, and you won't have those really dark corners and shit like the sunset's going to have. So it will be better. Like, when did we have Rebirth Night? That was when before Caldera dropped. When did we get Rebirth
it was that
Night?
event before Caldera dropped. Yeah,
and that lighting was fine. You remember that? It wasn't bad.
Yeah, I do actually.
So.
I think it's because the devs, when they're like, okay, we're making a night map, but we have to be able to see other people, so we need to try really hard to like put in lights, even though it's at night. But when it's sunset, since they barely have brains, they don't think about that. Well, sunset, good enough. It doesn't even occur to them that the lighting isn't going to be good enough.
When we had Verdansk, the Halloween modes, we talked about that. Like, seriously, the lighting and visibility was better at Verdansk at night than it was in the daytime because you didn't have the sun glare. So, because they have like the moonlight coming down and giving you some lighting, enough lighting to see everything.
Exactly. So, cool.
That kind of sucks, though. Honestly, like the sunset thing, Rebirth's lighting was literally perfect. It's like, why do you don't need to just change things to change things. You're just changing something to like make it worse. There's really no reason to do that. I don't know. My only like Black Helicopters thought is a lot of weather changes. I wonder if this, maybe Warzone 2, we see random weather patterns. Like PUBG, I know used to do that. I don't know if they do still, but you'd load into a game and it'd be sunny. You load into another game, it'd be like overcast and raining. So I wonder if we may see weather in Warzone 2 as well. Anytime you load in the match, it'll be random. I wouldn't like it, ideally.
I would fucking hate it.
But who knows?
Yeah.
Could be something they're looking at.
I would not be terribly surprised. My biggest question is, why have a 2-day LTM? Like, what are they tying to this Rebirth After Dark? I mean, we're going to see it soon. I wonder if they're going to bundle in some kind of teaser for Warzone 2 or Modern Warfare 2, or even like put a little bit of lore in there or something. Because making an LTM with Rebirth at night, I guess they already have Rebirth After Night designed from the Caldera launch event. So it wouldn't be like it's that much more work since they already have it. But still weird to do an LTM for 2 days. Yeah,
I'm not understanding it, but whatever.
I feel like there's maybe something more to this, so keep an eye on that, guys. But anyway, some bug fixes as well. They supposedly fixed some more collision issues on Caldera and Fortune's Keep. Caldera, I don't feel like has had collision issues lately, but that's good. Fortune's Keep has. Let's see, and some other shit that doesn't really matter. So there you go. And then a giant screenshot of known issues that aren't fixed.
Yeah.
So that's, typical Trello board trash. So there you go. All right, now on to gameplay. Doomsday Station. Caldera BR. This unique station can be activated for $10,000. So it's a different buy station. It's like a black crate. Some red mist around it. Spooky looking. Causing enemy AI to invade the position via helicopter. Rewards are lootable by any player, regardless of who activated the station. One station will appear each match with multiple possible spawn locations, and a unique cosmetic watch skin will be rewarded to players who activate and fully secure the station. So this was talked about in the roadmap. There were a few questions, none of which are answered by this. I seem to recall in the roadmap, they called this a buy station.
Correct.
And now they're not calling it a buy station. It's just the Doomsday Station. And it does not appear to be a buy station. It's just some place you drop 10K and then you get shit. So I don't know why they originally referred to it as a buy station, or maybe we're just mistaken. But this is not a buy station. It's not like the Fortune's Keep black market buy. It's not that, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, the guys started doing it earlier and weren't able to finish it because it was right on the edge of the zone and gas started coming in.
Sick.
But as soon as they deposited the 10,000, like 3 or 4 helicopters fly over, starts dropping AI like on Fortune's Keep. And it's like a recon, so you have to sit on it
Oh.
And the timer was going up. It seemed
Does
even
a big
slower than a
beam go up?
recon, maybe.
Like a recon?
I didn't notice that. It's very possible. It was visible on the map. It was like it showed up, I think, as like a larger like buy station, and it was like red or something on the map, so you could see it. But yeah, they didn't end up finishing it, so I don't know what happened once you completed it. But the AI is dropping all around, shooting at you.
Yeah.
So don't know what it gives you still. I have no idea.
Yeah, probably pretty good shit, but we talked about that. Here we've got to look at the supply box UAV. You can see it as ground loot here, or on the ground anyway. Can be activated to mark nearby unopened boxes for 20 seconds on the TAC map. So I think 20 seconds is new info. This kill streak can be looted via supply boxes or purchased at a buy for 3K. Activating more... Oh, this is interesting. Activating more than 3 supply box UAV in a short amount of time, similar to like calling an advanced UAV by popping 3 regular ones, will activate an advanced supply box UAV, resulting in a much stronger effect. Cool, so they don't tell you what that is. Got it. Supply box types are represented by color, as we suspected. Blue is regular, orange legendary, red resurgence, and pink is going to be the color for the personal supply box. So this is something Tanner speculated was going to be the case. It looks like it is. I do wonder what the advanced supply box UAV will mean. It says it'll have a stronger effect. So does that mean the colors will be fucking brighter? Or it'll last longer? Or you get more radius? Or what? Because I don't really care if there's a standard supply box 2 POIs away from me. I'm not sure I give a shit, man.
Exactly.
I'm going to be honest.
Exactly. Yeah. So,
I don't know. Seems like a very silly streak to get.
See anyone ever using these for $3,000? But Chris did say in the Discord they did it earlier when they were regaining when they got a fire sale, so it was like 800 or something. At that point, I guess see it being worthwhile. But even then, it's like 20 seconds on your TAC map alone. It's like, dude, I can run around for 20 seconds and hear most of those crates anyways. Exactly. I still just don't fully understand it. But if you have a bunch of money, you have your loadouts. I mean, well, even then, it's like, why do you need to loot more then? I don't know. I'm just not seeing the reason for this, really.
Yep, same. Seems really dumb. Only time I'll ever use this is if I pick it up from a box. There's no other reason to buy this. Just none. So,
yeah.
And then we got the personal supply box. So now someone in chat was right that time. The personal supply box. This unique supply box will spawn a player's favorite, in quotations, loadout weapons and reward the player with 2k XP. Players can set as favorite via the weapons edit loadout menus. So that's correct. Now it actually matters what you set as your favorite loadout, because now when you open this personal supply box, you get that. So the question has been answered. That's pretty cool, I guess. I think this is fine. Yeah, not that big of a deal. It doesn't give you the loadout itself, but it gives you the 2 loadout guns, which is probably the most important part, but you'd still want to get a loadout even if you're able to slam this.
So it's pretty much only something you're going to care about regaining if you're the only one alive, or early game. Because once you get a loadout 2 minutes into the game, this doesn't matter at all. So it's just for those 2 things again. It's another one of those things they add to the game. It's not a bad thing, but it's not, I don't think, going to have a huge effect most of the time, because you're usually just going to have your loadout pretty damn quick. So maybe you get lucky, get one early on, so you get your loadout guns when everyone has ground loot. That's really big early game.
If you're also able to get this before Lodi, which will not happen often unless there's a lot of these, because Lodi drops so early. But if you are able to, you can get your overkill guns from this, and then you can just get one Lodi, just get straight away, get high alert or tempered.
Yeah,
which is
that
pretty
is true
nice
too.
But yeah, it's not like super game changing or anything, but I think this is probably fine. I don't know. And now on to things that are not fine. The new field upgrade, Rage Serum. So we have a picture of it here. Rage Serum. It's a field upgrade. Players can use this to boost their close quarters capabilities for 40 seconds, which is kind of a long time. Movement speed increase of 8%. Damage with melee weapons or while unarmed increased by 50%. So that implies that gun butts are not going, like meleeing someone while you're holding a gun. This implies that that damage bonus will not apply to that, which is good. Lunge distance increased to 3.2 from 1.4 while standing. Holy shit. So you can be standing still, press melee. If someone's 3.2 meters in front of you, you'll hit them. That's crazy. Melee stun power increased by 50%, which means like flinch, basically. Aim punch, I think, is actually more appropriate. Yeah. Negative effects. You're louder. You have a visible rage effect on your operator, so you'll probably like glow red or some shit. You'll get stunned or flashed 40% harder. And the effect is countered by the battle hardened perk. That's kind of weird. So I guess you won't take as much melee damage if you have battle hardened. I mean, you can't battle harden away their movement speed. So, I don't know. Super fucking dumb. Hopefully it doesn't matter that much, but we've talked about this. I think it's just silly. Extremely silly, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
So
that's a strat early on, finding one of those, not using your gun, of course, just using your
literally
fist,
dropping
beating the
gun
fuck out
and
of
just
everyone.
going to beat the shit out of kids. Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Like again, I can imagine this being a real problem on Fortune's Keep and Rebirth Island. Like you find one of these early game, you just beat the fuck out of everyone in your building, and they can't do shit. You know, they have a Magnum they just dropped out of the sky with. It's super dumb, but whatever. Quality of life is the next section. Precision airstrikes. Oh boy. I needed to read this 2 years ago, by the way, but let's see what they say. Improve the precision airstrike danger UI node to be more consistent with where the airstrike target is and any nearby enemies. I don't know what "and any nearby enemies" means in that sentence, first of all. Second of all...
Is it going to show where they are? Or like what?
Yeah, great question. Second of all, is this actually true? You think the node will actually be better? I don't.
I don't know. We'll still get killed through buildings that don't have windows in them.
That's true.
So,
okay. So, I mean, in theory, that sounds great. Let's see if they actually implemented it.
Yeah, exactly.
Next, implemented a fix for precision, sometimes not hitting near the targeted site. Instead, hitting the player from behind unexpectedly. This would occur in rare situations where a player is positioned considerably higher above the target when launching the strike. I don't think this has happened to me ever.
It has. If you call it in close in front of you, say you're on like a hill in Caldera, you call it on a house that's like 20 meters in front of you and below you. As the strike comes in, since it does like a strip, it also downs you.
Oh, really? Okay.
As it's also hitting. Yeah, that's happened numerous times.
Interesting.
Not as many times as being killed through a building, though, to an airstrike, which I'm sure wasn't fixed, by the way.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Added a danger UI node if the player calling in a cluster or precision is too close to the targeted site. That's cool.
That is. Okay.
I like that. If it works, again. If it works. So.
Yeah.
And here's what they say. In the absence of any recent changes to the precision behavior, we've still seen an uptick in player sentiment and discussion about precisions lately.
You haven't been paying attention then.
I mean,
there was even more of it 2 years ago.
2 years, yeah. As such, our engineering team have completed a detailed review of the system. Imagine completing a detailed review of precisions, and the first change isn't, these probably shouldn't kill people inside buildings. Real good engineering team. Fucking dumb shits. To make sure it is working as intended. Oh, so it's intended. Got it. I'm in a building and I died of precision. Since the team of engineers was working real hard to examine this, and they certainly saw that you died of precisions while you're in a building, this must be intended. Cool. Got it.
Oh, yeah. Read the last sentence. Yeah.
And as a result, have made some changes to further improve and optimize the system. Okay, so they did notice it. Note that precisions will continue to shoot through glass, balconies, and wall-bang penetrable buildings. First of all, they wall-bang impenetrable buildings. Let's be super clear about that. I die in buildings that I will not get wall-banged in. So stop. And hire better engineers. Or stop lying to us, which I think is... Those are both very likely to be the case. But you will always die inside of a building you shouldn't die to with a precision in Warzone 1. It's that simple. And all these changes are cute, but by far the biggest issue. Well, the nodie issue is a really big one. So that may or may not be fixed. I'm skeptical. And also dying in a building where you shouldn't die to a precision is among the two by far biggest issues with precisions, which they've gone out of their way to say they will never address. Got it.
Yeah.
Sick devs.
So, by the way, the most recent one was when Bandit downed himself through air traffic control tower in Caldera. That's a solid stone building that is definitely not penetrable. You can't shoot through that. I can confirm
tower,
that.
Like in the building.
In the building, down in like the staircase. So, got it. So once again, they fixed some things that are good. I'm glad they fixed these issues, but they didn't solve the main issue that we've always had with airstrikes, which is killing you through buildings, even when you're not close to glass, Ted. You're not close to glass. You're not close to a window. I'm not on a fucking balcony. Balconies barely exist. Don't even throw balconies in there. There are not enough balconies on Caldera to even put that in there. Of course I'm going to be killed on a balcony. I'm outside. Yeah. That's a duh. I'm outside.
Yeah.
But wall bang penetrable buildings, got it. So then every building is penetrable according to this statement.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So again, fixing some small issues, cool. Thank you. We needed that a long time ago. Appreciate you fixing that. UI, great. Didn't fix the core issue though, that everyone's always complained about. So got it.
Totally agree.
And they're not, and like you said, they went out of their way to say, "Oh, we're not fixing that because that's not a bug." Fuck you.
I'm actually kind of glad they at least acknowledge. They acknowledge, like, hey, I know you guys are all saying you shouldn't die in buildings, but you're wrong. Hey, I know you guys all play the game, and we, of course, don't, because we're Activision devs who don't play our own game. But we're going to tell you how precision should work. You who actually play the fucking game, we're going to tell you guys how precisions should work. And they go out of their way to say, fuck off. Precisions are still going to kill you inside of buildings. Got it. Thanks, Ted. Really appreciate that, man. Really fucking appreciate that. So it's kind of funny. They're telling us to go fuck ourselves. I mean, at least they're acknowledging that we think it's an issue. They just disagree. I guess they know better. Cool. So I don't know. Sort of a step in the right direction. At least we know that they're aware that we all hate it. Even if they, again, go out of their way to say we're not changing it, but cool. But thanks for your input, kid.
They're like, get fucked, but yeah.
So, thanks. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Oh, no, I was laughing.
Okay, yeah. C4 ground loot appearance. This was again, I mean, come on, man. So many other things we should be changing, like precisions killing you inside a building.
Well, no, because this did look like the perks. So instead of doing the correct thing that people have been asking for again since ground loot perks came out, is giving us a UI on our screen always telling us what perks we have. They just did this, so now C4 doesn't look as similar to perks, so now you don't pick up C4 thinking it's a perk or something. That's the only reason they changed this.
Yeah, that's fair, actually.
And it did look exactly like perks, yeah.
Okay, fine. So that's good. Gas mask auto manual equip setting. So this is something that we've actually seen in the game. It just didn't work. Now it does. Added functionality to the quick inventory menu. What? That's just your inventory, right? Yeah, it must be. To allow the user to toggle the gas mask on or off. This option is only available if the user opts into the manual gas mask toggle in the settings menu. I like this. I would recommend anyone who plays Warzone enough to be listening to this podcast right now, I recommend you guys turn this on, the manual gas mask thing. You're going to have to get used to it. You're going to die once or twice because you forget this is a setting. And you're going to have a gas mask and it's going to be full and you're going to die in the gas because you forgot to turn it on. It's going to happen once or twice, but I think once you get used to it, it's going to save your life more often, if it works as intended. Save your life more by avoiding, the auto equip fucking your ass. And not having to play around that sounds really good. Recently, I was playing Warzone and I gas played some kid. I was on his roof, so we both had to rotate into zone. And I was like, okay, I have a gas mask. I'm just going to gas play this guy. And I had to back up and get in gas sooner than I wanted to basically cheese the auto-equip gas mask animation.
Yeah.
So that I wasn't stuck shooting this guy and then equipping the gas mask, which would have been a disaster. So I had to like play around that, which is super annoying. I would have much rathered at that time a manual gas mask animation. I wonder if it will allow you to pre-equip the gas. Wait, can you just always have it on?
That's because I had that same thought like 2 minutes ago, and I was like, well, of course you should be able to turn it on, because then if it's on manual and it doesn't let you turn it on whenever, then you'd have to take gas damage before you turn it on, basically. If it only let you put it on during the gas. So yeah, I was thinking that too. I'm like, I'm just going to leave that bitch on.
You can just always have it on, yeah.
I'm sure you can.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, that's the real play then. Just loot a gas. So that's actually going to be kind of annoying. You're going to loot a gas mask. You're going to manually turn it on, and then just don't touch it again. And then the only thing that the manual is going to be good for is when you're in the gas and it's almost dead. Maybe you want to manually turn it off sooner because you're in cover and you expect to be using your gun in a second or something. But yeah, definitely turn the setting on and then just equip it as soon as you can. And then when gas hits you, you won't even have to go through the animation. Yeah, this seems weird. I'm excited. I'm going to be playing today, and I'm going to look into this because this is weird.
Have like it kind of, you see the gas mask on your screen though, so it's like you can tell you have it on, you know. So it like kind of ruins the edges of your screen and shit because it's a gas mask.
Yeah, true.
But I don't know.
Yeah,
I wouldn't just always leave it on. I just, before you make certain plays, turn it on, or more importantly, when you're coming out of the gas, you can just leave it on for a second if you see someone and start fighting them and not have to worry about like, oh, if I un-ADS here, it's going to automatically take it off or something. I think that's more important, is like coming out of the gas after you've already applied it. And if you're fighting a team right on the edge, you're not going to get put in those weird situations where there's an automatic gas mask animation.
Another question I have though, let's say you have this setting on, you have the gas mask on, you're in the gas for 20 minutes, and your gas mask runs out. Is your player still going to automatically take it off once it's out?
That's what I was about to say. I'm sure it will, yeah. Once it's depleted, I'm sure it'll still do the automatic animation.
Yeah. Probably.
It should honestly leave it on as it's broken, not doing anything, and you have to take it off. But it probably doesn't, if I had to guess. I'm not sure.
If it's the case that it stays on until you take it off, but it just doesn't prevent any damage, then this would be really good, and I'd be very happy with it. But if it still takes it off automatically, kind of shit. And almost doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We'll let you guys know. I'm very curious about this. But you can find out now, I guess. Go play Warzone. What else do we have? So yeah, the buy station updates. That dumb supply box UAV is there. The buy station inventory will now scroll in order to display all available options.
Which is awful. So now you have to scroll down to buy a loadout.
Because there are so many options now.
Because they added, like, you can fucking donate to the cringe dog shit hero faction of your choice. Yeah.
Which are, of course, the first two options.
I can't wait to be getting shot at trying to buy a loadout ASAP and then having to scroll and die doing it. Just so we can get a $1,000 donation, and at the top of that, to whatever fucking group we want to donate to. Battle Royale. Glad that comes first, though.
Yeah, super dumb. So anyway, whatever. Loadout drop markers remain at the bottom of the list for ease of access because we know how important muscle memory is. This is for controller players.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I was going to say it's not muscle memory anymore because I have to scroll through it, but yeah.
Oh, for us, we're fucked. Yeah, but for controller, which is, I mean, you might as well keep them there. Just don't have the dumb contributions on the buy screen. I don't know. Pretty simple. So, anyway.
Yeah, or expand that menu to just make it larger so you don't have to scroll. I don't know.
So, coming later in the season...
I'm not a fucking engineer, right? COD engineer. I'm not one of their engineer gurus that fix the precision airstrikes. Thank you, Jesus.
Quote unquote fixed, yeah. So, here they also say in season, they added a setting... They will add a setting that allows the loadout interface to remember the last loadout that was selected. So basically, when you open a loadout, you'll be hovering over the last loadout you chose. I don't think this matters, because I'm not always picking the same loadout. I'm usually picking overkill.
Usually not picking the same loadout.
In fact, I'm not. Exactly. Yeah, I'm usually picking overkill first, again, and then picking like tempered second. So this is not really that big of a deal. If you like play Rebirth and you only hit one loadie, sure. I don't know. It's fine. It doesn't really matter. But there you go. Playing respawn functionality. Oh boy. BR modes in season. So not yet. Not yet. Hang in there, guys. Planes will no longer respawn once they have been destroyed in season. So this is something Tanner and I talked about. They respawn in 2 seconds. They won't. So cool. This change does not apply to respawn modes like Plunder, though. So this is better than them respawning, I guess. But whatever. Cool.
Good.
Cool and got it.
I mean, good. I mean, we'd be at airfield and I would see 8 of them respawn within a minute of sitting there. So yeah, that's good. That actually clears up a lot of the issues with them because they don't usually stay alive for long. Just the fact that there are so many of them, people could just keep grabbing them over and over and over again.
This is definitely a welcome improvement. It's just planes.
I mean, take the planes out
of themselves. Yeah.
Yeah. Take them out, but this is a lot better than it was.
True. It will be anyway in season.
Yeah. Yeah,
so Warzone 2 is going to come out like
that November
like
1st.
A week before the fucking or a week after this change happens. So that's cool, yeah. But whatever. All right, so now we got some perk updates. Serpentine. Fire damage no longer decreased. Explosive damage no longer decreased. So you don't take less damage from those things now, even when Serpentine is active. And you now must be tack sprinting for Serpentine to be effective. This change will arrive again later this season. This is going to make Serpentine very difficult to run over Cold-Blooded.
Yeah, I think that
it already
kills
is very difficult to run over Cold-Blooded. I think this kind of sends it. Yeah, what are your thoughts?
The tack sprint thing about kills it, yeah.
That's really bad, yeah.
That's the only thing that matters. So, yeah, I think that's the end of Serpentine, pretty much. But yeah, we don't know when we're getting these. I don't know if it's... I think the first 2 are in as of now, the fire and explosive damage. I think it's just the tack sprinting is not in yet. That's what I'm assuming from this note. What do you think? Because they only put that under the last one. So I think the first 2 are currently in.
Yes, I think you're correct.
Okay. Yeah.
But the first 2 don't matter at all.
Yeah. It's the tack sprint change that's going to kill Serpentine. So we'll remind you guys when that's in to stop running it. As of now, maybe just still run it.
It'll be as effective now as it was
once
yesterday.
It's for tack sprinting only.
I mean, I never take fire damage or explosive damage while I'm sprinting and running to a rock. Like, that's never what I've ever I've never reduced those types of damage using Serpentine, ever. So
I didn't even think about it that it even did that. Yeah, it never even went through my mind.
At all. So, but yeah, the tack sprint thing is going to be huge. And then Battle Hardened. Stun and flash resistance increased to 80%. Up from 50 and 70 respectively. So Battle Harden's way better, but is it Combat Scout? Therefore, is it worth running? Now, again, on Fortune's Keeper Rebirth, maybe. Depends how often you're seeing stuns and flashes. Because 80% resistance is a fuck ton. And this is on top of a stun nerf that we saw a couple months ago. But,
great for ground loot. Ground loot,
really good for ground loot.
Battle hardened.
True. But does this matter? Ultimately, no. I don't think enough people stun or flash for this to matter.
What does this mean? Some players may wonder why this change is happening now, to which our reply is there may be a surprise in store during Season 5 that warrants this change. Oh God. Maybe we're getting like a stun grenade launcher or something, fully automatic grenade launcher that can stun, has 20 stuns in it before you have a second and a half reload. I hope. That'd be fun. That would go really well with the Rage Serum.
A stun or flash grenade launcher, I could see them adding. What else would this mean?
Something's coming. I don't know. Yeah, or they're adding... I was going to say maybe they're adding another type of tactical, but they're not because it says stun and flash.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I don't know. They're adding something. Maybe a stun gun?
Something. Or they're buffing stuns and flashes.
Well, that wouldn't make any sense. Why do this then if they're just going to buff them again?
To make Battle Hardened more appealing.
So they're doing that.
So they're doing that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, oh boy, good catch. Yeah. Literally, let us both be very clear. Whatever this means, there may be a surprise in store during Season 5 that warrants this change. Literally, no matter what that means, it is not good. No matter what this could possibly be, it's not a good thing. It's a bad thing. So cool. We can look forward to that.
Yeah, there's nothing good coming out of that. Don't call it a surprise.
Yeah.
I don't want your surprise, man.
Yeah, surprise, I'm robbing your house.
I'm surprised enough at how bad this game is, so I don't need another one from you, man. Please.
Yeah, exactly. So, goddamn it, Activision. Next, we have a section under weapons. And they say some things. General.
I put the clean note in if you'd rather use that for here. It's up to you though.
Yeah.
Maybe easier. But it's the links in the notes.
That actually. So instead of reading fucking Vanguard Assault Rifle Omega, fucking stop. So first they say at the outset here, Season 5 is all about widening options even further by addressing the top performers to be more in line, along with lifting up both individual weapons and classes of weapons that are underutilized. Let's see. Oh, this whole... Okay, sorry, hold on. What the fuck? Sorry, guys, I'm trying to find this thing here real quick. Okay, here we go. So one change they're making. Vanguard marksman rifles will now utilize assault rifle ammunition. Day one shit? This should have never not been the case, but I'm actually very glad to see this. Will any Vanguard marksman rifle be meta? Probably not, but I'm actually interested to go take a look at that list again, because they, like, a Garand might have a really good TTK that might make it conditionally really good. For example, maybe it's really fucking good in solos. Maybe it's got like that foul pre-nerf TTK that it had in Warzone for a while, or something like that. And what other marksman rifles does Vanguard have?
I mean,
Could
we
this
literally
maybe bring something into being usable, Tanner?
I mean, we don't know if any of them are good because most players are smart enough to have never attempted to use these.
Exactly.
The other thing is no one's going to have their marksman guns leveled up. So if one of them becomes really meta, you won't even see it used a lot. I have probably 0 Vanguard marksman rifles fully leveled, actually. Well, certainly I do. I mean, most of them are like level 10 or 15. So if there is a meta one, I don't think it'll be as big of an issue as like an AR that everyone will already have fully leveled or something, because no one has touched any of these. So if someone can figure out a busted marksman rifle, you're going to be probably farming kids with it for a little while.
You know what else?
I just have no idea what that would be.
You know what? Even if they're not like worth using for loadouts, this actually does make them... It increases probably the pool of ground loot that is actually usable. Because there are marksman rifles in ground loot that I will never ever pick up because they use sniper ammo. And now I will. And maybe some of them will actually be usable. So that's good, increasing the variety in the ground loot. It's not the most important thing in the world, but that's something. So that could be another, outgrowth of this change.
Yeah.
So moving on here. We've made a large amount of changes to these weapons and expect to make some more following Season 5 so that they are viable. But so we don't see a repeat of the DMR meta, which is good that they acknowledge how
DMR
insane that was.
Yeah.
So variable scopes, oh shit. The 3 to 6x, the absolute meta AR scope, and the 4 to 8 have been adjusted significantly. Wow. What does that mean? They took a page out of Tanner's playbook here. They now have glint, which is big. Reduced recoil control, big. And adjusted ADS time, not that big. But reduced recoil control and glint, very big. How big? Don't know yet. Very curious to play and see. This might mean that 2.5x is going to be the meta AR optic, which will, in turn, vastly increase the viability of sniper rifles and make engagements more close range in general, I think. They go on to say this will have a significant impact on the long-range playstyle, enabling wider options and not total domination from Vanguard ARs. Okay, so I just said all that, yeah. Aggressive and heavy sniper rifles will see a large reduction. I don't know what that means. A large reduction in recoil control? That must mean what that means.
Yeah, or is this clean website messed up? It's like it's missing something there.
Probably just shit patch notes.
I'm gonna look at the regular one.
Yeah, take a look at the regular one.
Where are we at? Weapons. Yeah, I don't.
Control F aggressive.
No. It's not there. They just left the word out. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I
think it's flint reduction.
I think it means recoil control. Because they say they now have a glint on them, reduced recoil control, and adjusted ADS time. And then the bullet point is
that has nothing to do with that. It's just
reduction.
It's just the clean website makes it look weird. The next point about snipers is the sentence below it. That's what they're talking about for that. It has nothing to do with the AR thing. It's just like the next point of something they're talking about. It just looks weird on the clean website.
Oh, I see.
It's a whole nother
so it's a
topic.
Separate point.
There's just something missing. So on this variable scope though, yes, you are correct. Everyone's already using the 3 1/4, 3.25 thing. So they still have a good amount of zoom, and then it has a little canted hybrid on it. So people are using that. I saw Bandit was using like a bar and an AS44 with the 3 to 6. ADS time seemed no different. The recoil at 6 times did seem worse for sure. Not a big difference at like 100 meters or something, but I think it is going to change those like 200, 300 meter engagements that we have now. And the glint thing, I don't think matters. Because it doesn't, if someone sees your glint, it doesn't matter. They're 200 meters away trying to shoot at you with also a 3 to 6 AR. They're not going to kill you right away anyway. So like the glint doesn't matter. You usually know where the people are. So I think the glint is just, if anything, it's going to make it more confusing. And now I'm just going to think everyone is sniping.
Ooh, that's true.
So
too.
I don't love that. So I'm not really sure. I don't think the glint is going to have a huge event. That certainly, if that was the only thing they changed, that wouldn't make me stop using them. Obviously, that's what I'm trying to get at. Is that's not a very big change in and of itself. The thing that matters is the recoil control at 6 times specifically. I think.
Yeah, but even at 3 times, it's going to have less recoil control, which is a really good change, I think. Because basically what they do is like this has been true for all of Warzone. They just didn't say it right away. The VLK on MW 2019 guns reduces how much recoil you have because you're zooming so much that if it had the same exact recoil, like people would have a lot of trouble using it. So they reduced the recoil and just didn't say so. So they've been doing that with with all these zoom optics for Vanguard guns too, and for Cold War guns. And now they say it, but now it reduces the recoil less. I think that's great. That's the biggest change. It will depend largely on how much recoil the guns have, yeah, for sure. Or how much more recoil they have now with this optic on. But it's definitely a step in the right direction. And we will see how the meta shifts around that, if people just won't care or if they will. I'm very curious to experiment with this and find out. So then, yeah, they also, the next point, separate point, aggressive and heavy sniper rifles will see a large reduction. So they actually just missed a word. And I don't know what the word is because they go on to say, snipers are in a good spot. They're not, but we're not done with them yet. Combined with the above, we are expecting, so we don't know what the above is. We're expecting many viable options and variability in long range engagements. So I'm not clear. What do you think
I think it's in flinch because I think they talk about the flinch somewhere else. I think that's what they're saying.
I bet you it's flinch. Which is good. That needs to happen. There needs to be flinch.
They talk about it more later on. It's flinch for sure.
Good,
yeah.
Good. So then the next point here is the EX1, the energy rifle balancing. In Warzone, we've made substantial differences to the EX1 to better accommodate BR gameplay versus Vanguard multiplayer. So for example, the EX1 does not have unlimited ammo in Warzone, which is good. That was one of the most appealing things I thought of when we were going over the roadmap, but they're not bringing that to Warzone. Increased recoil compared to Vanguard, and substantially lower bullet velocity. That makes it sound like it's not even going to be worth using. But I don't know how much velocity this can have with full attachments.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say.
I've seen people using like the bundle one or whatever it is. I don't know what it's going to be like when it's maxed out and when everyone has figured out the meta attachments for it.
Right, exactly.
But it didn't look like I think it was like the standard AR variant. The fire rate seemed low, like a bar, and it didn't seem to kill super fast. So at the very least, it's not broken, overpowered so far from what we know and what setups people are using. Seems like just another gun that's reskinned.
Yeah. So we'll find out.
I mean, you'll see everywhere on TikTok how overpowered it is, but I don't know
Swag
if it really
has
is.
a video out right now.
Swag was using it this
where he's going
morning.
like this. And he's saying the EX1 is so busted, but yeah, it's probably not.
And then it's going to say 30 kill game using the EX1, and then 27 of those kills will be with his Blixen, like most of his videos.
Yeah, which is fine. Get the bag, as the kids say. But
yeah, sure.
Yeah, we'll see. But they'll be making more changes to all these guns. They've been, in fairness to them. Support for today's episode comes from True Classic. This brand new sponsor has the absolute best fitting t-shirts a man can buy. We've already worn them on the podcast a couple times, in fact. Finding the right t-shirt is incredibly frustrating. Most are either way too tight on your gut or look way too big and boxy. You are not in high school anymore, and it is time to upgrade. True Classic has already helped over 2 million men finally get a better fit at an affordable price. Our listeners get access to the best deal that they offer. For a limited time, get 25% off with the code DROPSHOT at trueclassic.com. Almost all men's t-shirts are designed to look good on skinny models with six-packs, like myself. But most of us aren't packing anything but a few beers. Fellas, you're wearing the wrong clothes. True Classic's tees taper off towards the bottom, but they fit tighter around the chest and shoulders to make bigger guys look slimmer and slimmer guys look buffer. You heard that right. You'll look buffer and slimmer at the same time. It's time to highlight your best attributes with a t-shirt you can always throw on confidently. Not only are you finally getting a t-shirt designed for the male body, but the first thing you'll notice out of the box is how soft it is. Get ready to make a thrift shop run, because you won't be able to go back to cheap materials once you try these. True Classic doesn't stop at t-shirts. They are your one-stop shop for men's essentials. Super easy and simple to fill out your wardrobe. From polos and workout shirts with the same flattering fit to boxers designed with a pouch to keep your bulge nice and comfy. All of their gear is top-notch quality at reasonable prices. And for you big boys out there, they have long body options for the tall guys and up to triple XL on all their staple colors. It's about time you learn how to dress yourself properly. Upgrade your wardrobe with True Classic. Get 25% off at trueclassic.com with code DROPSHOT. Free shipping is also included on purchases over $100. 100% risk-free guarantee with a 30-day return policy. Stay classy with True Classic. All right, so that's the EX1. Moving on. That's going to be available at Battle Pass Tier 15 to everyone. You don't have to buy the Battle Pass. And then at Tier 31 for everyone, the new SMG, the RA225. High fire rate, very mobile, compact frame. This is part of the ground loot pool. I don't know if the EX1 is part of the ground loot pool. I would imagine it is. But I've seen very little of it. I've heard nothing about it. Have you seen the new sub? Yeah, have you seen or heard?
Looks trash from what I've seen, but yeah, I don't.
Really?
No one's gonna have it really leveled up yet. Yeah, so it looks like any other SMG. Yeah, I don't know. Looks like an Armaguerra kind of.
Yeah, and honestly, it's probably going to be fine. It's probably going to be like any other Vanguard sub, not very interesting or different, and it'll be viable, probably.
Exactly.
So now we got some weapon adjustments. I think a lot here. So the AS-44 was changed. It's funny they say the unquestioned strength of the AS-44. Huh? Encroaching on the SMG class unless it's assault rifle brethren. So, yeah, they're basically nerfing it as sniper support, it looks like. Don't care. The bar was buffed. 40 round mag is now 50.
That's pretty good,
for the meta magazine, which is pretty good.
Big change.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing with it that we bitched about was the mag. I mean, it's not that big of an issue because it's a bar, so it fires slow anyways, but that's, this
is a good change.
Maybe worth using now.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's not. Cooper Carbine was nerfed. Cool. KGM 40 was fucking gutted.
absolutely gutted.
Minimum damage 23 instead of 25. Like that alone's really big. Worse sprint to fire, less velocity, more recoil.
The shrouded barrel was the meta one, and most velocity decreased like by 7%, and then recoil control decreased by like 6% or so.
Yeah,
so
this thing got
the meta barrel.
shitted and farted on. So F's in the chat for the KG, the least interesting gun I've maybe ever used, so I'm fine with that. The fucking MW Growl was buffed. It was buffed in its capacity as a sniper support. Max damage increased to 29. Max damage range increased to 31 meters instead of 30 meters. And neck damage multiplier is 1.15 instead of 1.01. What's interesting about this is this actually might be a really good sniper support AR in Warzone. Because one of the big advantages of the Growl is that you don't have to put an optic on it. So in addition to that, it's got all of its sniper support, a lot of sniper support shit buffed here. Worth
Just
using?
doesn't have any mobility.
That's the thing. So if you're using like a 3-line rifle, which has pretty good mobility, you could probably get away with using a Growl because you're just going to be running around with your 3-line. But if you're using like a fucking HDR, then you can't really use a Growl because you're just always going to be moving so fucking slow. So I think this is going to depend on what sniper you're using as well.
This could be really good, especially for Rebirth and
for
Fortune's
that
keeping out too.
Yes.
Like as like a main AR, actually.
Yeah, actually, true. So yeah, that's another thing, which is interesting. So there you go. The Groza buffed slightly, doesn't matter. Vargo buffed in ways that don't matter. The Vargo S buffed
a lot, actually.
Minimum damage 22 from 20. Neck multiplier 1.5 instead of 1.3. Those are both quite big. And then a lot of buffs to a lot of different attachments.
Oh, the neck now matches the headshot multiplier, they say. Yeah, this thing could be good.
So you have like a big really headshot box, hitbox. Yeah. That's very interesting. That's going to be worth taking a look at as like a primary AR. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Better barrels, more ammo capacity, a lot of shit.
Yeah, that's pretty good. The STG was changed. Mostly nerfed. There's more recoil now. LMGs, UGM, sustained recoil adjusted. Okay. Type 11 was buffed. Almost certainly doesn't matter. Now marksman rifles. This is interesting. Flinch decreased on marksman rifles by 33%. That's a big deal. They now use AR ammo, as we said. The SVT, ADS speed increased, and then some nerfs. Okay. To a barrel and some mags. Huh. Interesting.
That's making the MW car better there, too. Because that falls under the marksman category, so the flinch is being decreased on that as well. So that got a nice little buff. It could be better for Rebirth and Keep also. I think this only applies
to Vanguard marksman rifles. I'm pretty sure. Because it is in the marksman rifles section, that's true.
Yeah.
But it does say Vanguard marksman rifles. I would be amazed if this applied to the car. I would be shocked.
I don't think it does. Then I don't care about any of this, yeah.
So anyway, M1 Garand muzzle velocity increased by 13%. And then some changes, more magazine capacity for pretty much all the mags, which is good. And then a couple little nerfs around that. The G43, which I literally didn't know was a gun. And if you told me it was a gun, I wouldn't believe you. I don't know what this is, but it's a Vanguard marksman rifle, I guess.
It's a German semi-auto marksman rifle.
So it was buffed a lot, it looks like. Max and minimum damage increased. Minimum 31 from 28. That's pretty big, actually.
That is.
And then some buffs to the barrels. There is a full auto barrel for this gun, which might be worth looking into, actually. A full auto barrel, and now it uses AR ammo. Probably not going to be good, but maybe.
It's probably just going to be a worse AR ultimately.
Probably, yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
But maybe not. Maybe.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, maybe not, man.
Maybe this could be good as a sniper support gun. Maybe. Put a full auto barrel on it. And if it has like a really nasty TTK, something to look into. Probably not, but maybe. So there you go. The M1916 buffed as well. The crossbow, I refuse to tell you about it. The Vanguard Riot Shield, I refuse to tell you about it, or any other changes. Handgun changes, not talking about it on principle.
I buffed the shit out of the Clouser finally.
Don't
actually,
care, and I'm editing
that thing was unusable.
Snipers have almost climbed to the ideal healthy usage rate. And for the first time, we're seeing a good
3%?
spread of different weapons
1%?
being used depending on map and situation. With the rebalancing of some of the optics and a further reduction of flinch, we expect this category of weapons to be in a solid position going forward. So flinch decreased on heavy snipers by 11%. So it's going to be like an HDR ZRG. So this won't matter at all. The ZRG is still going to flinch so much that it doesn't matter.
10% is not going to be noticeable. Yeah,
it's not going to be noticeable at all. However, this might be. Flinch decreased on light snipers. This is going to be like the Car, the Swiss. What else?
Is my Swiss back for small maps, dude?
Definitely
is
going
the
to
boy
apply to the
back?
Swiss and maybe some other things that I'm not thinking of right now. Flinch on those decreased by 40%. That's a lot. Maybe even enough. And I will let you guys know for sure. Because sniping is the only joy I get in Warzone lately. And now it got a lot better.
It's the only joy in life, man.
Really, truly. So, massive buff to the Tundra from Cold War. The Type 99 was buffed, ultimately, quite a bit. The 3-line, they changed the 30-aught Fang rounds, the 20-round mag. Damage bonus 7% instead of 10. Doesn't matter. Go for headshots. And then fire rate penalty actually decreased. So now with the 30-aught Fang rounds, you can refire more sooner, which is interesting. More shotgun nerfs, which is cringe. They've nerfed the combat shotgun, and they've nerfed the that's it, just the combat shotgun, so that's fun. Some submachine gun changes. Armaguerra pissed, shitted, and farted on.
Absolutely.
The Marco 5 largely pissed, shitted, and farted on. Blixen.
Oh, headshot multiplier removed for the headshot mag.
Jesus.
That was what I used because I went for headshots.
So
go figure, they nerf something when people are forced to hit the smallest hitbox and go for the head. They nerf that because people are hitting it. I guess.
I don't know.
Cool.
So whatever. There you go. The Uger, the UGR. This is the underwater submachine gun. Increased magazine capacity, and the explosive fléchette rounds also has its capacity increased to 50 from 36. Wonder if that makes it usable. Probably not, but maybe.
Nope.
The Fennec was changed. Doesn't matter.
Neck multiplier doesn't matter.
Which is
You're
the
not hitting
Thompson,
the neck usually with that.
which is the Thompson. This was changed. Cool.
Still not enough.
Vanguard Piss Boy buffed. The MW P90.
Ooh,
the
that's
FN
Vanguard
Project
Hipfire
90.
too.
Say again?
The PPSH Hipfire got some help there too with that one barrel.
5% better hipfire accuracy.
With a 300mm, that could be
maybe that's going to come back.
You may want to try. Pyman was using that earlier, I know.
It already had really good hipfire, so now it's going to be even better with that barrel. That is interesting. That might be what I have to go to. So I like that. The 2019 FN Project 90 buffed. Mid damage and min damage increased. So not that buffed, but don't use it. And then the Striker was buffed as well, which again doesn't matter. So now we have some changes to silencers, which is big. The MX silencer, recoil control decreased to 3% instead of 4%.
Whoa.
2% less velocity, 2.5% less damage range. Similar changes for the M1928 silencer. And then the Mercury silencer horizontal recoil control will help by 4% instead of 5%. okay. I don't know, man. I don't think this is ultimately that big of a deal.
I mean, at the end of the day, everyone's still going to run the suppressors because it's like recoil booster is increasing you're decreasing your recoil control, so you're not going to use those at range. This is still going to be the meta. It's making guns a little bit harder to use. In theory, a little bit more recoil, but that combined with the glint, with the 3 to 6 changes, actually does shake up the 6 times AR kind of long range meta that we have right now.
Yeah.
Those things combined when they stack like that.
I agree. So anyway, there you go. Scopes. The 3 to 6x. The one everyone's been using. Again, glint enabled. Recoil control is 1% instead of 5%. So that's fairly big, 4%, especially as Tanner said, when you're on that 6x magnification level. Flinch resistance decreased. I didn't know it had flinch resistance. That's a very big deal.
I wonder by how much. That's what I would like to know.
That's a good question. Yeah, potentially that's a very big deal, I should say. Wow. We will see. Very curious to see that. And now you also ADS 6% slower with ARs anyway. The 4 to 8x was changed in a very similar way. And then the tight grip gun perk. Sustained recoil control decreased to 9% from 10%. This doesn't matter. Overall, what are your thoughts on these weapon balance changes?
Mostly good. Again, making the guns a little bit harder to use, which is what we need right now. I think I don't know what I think about the 3 to 6. It's just, even with these changes, it's still just hard because it's like,
I think we have to see it.
They're trying to get like the Modern Warfare guns to be okay again, and I get that, like, oh, now it's gonna go up against like a VLK kind of, but the VLK is also just small, it's shit, it has a huge bezel, it has trash reticles, so it's still not going to compare to the 3 to 6 in that way anyways. But I think this update on paper has changed the long range meta a lot to, like you're saying, maybe making snipers a lot better possibly. I don't know what the go-to sniper would be. I guess probably still like the 3-line or something, but I'll probably try like the ZRG again now. Just because, maybe people are going to miss shots on me more at range where otherwise they would hit those, and so I won't be getting that flinch as often, because that's the only issue with the ZRG is just the flinch, basically. Well, and the awful rechambering speed. But, I'm definitely going to try that, but I think most of these weapon changes are good. They're welcomed. More recoil again. And like I said, I was watching some streams earlier. At 6 times, you could see more recoil just through a stream. You can control it. You can mount still. But you're not going to hit, whereas before, maybe on a moving target at 100 meters, you would hit 5 out of 10 shots. Maybe now that's like 3 out of 10 shots. So it's making the game a little bit more difficult to play for people, and, on paper, widening the skill gap a tiny bit. So I like all these changes. I'm not sure why they like on paper gutted the Arma, but like didn't touch the Marco that much. And they were pretty damn similar. When I used them, I thought they were both pretty good guns. So I think Marco is going to be a lot better than the Arma now, but yeah. And then these marksman changes, I don't know. Like we've been saying, use assault rifle ammo, but even then now it's like, are people going to use them? Probably not. They should have done this in season 1. But
they're going to need
ultimately,
to have a really
it's like even
fast
back
TPK.
then. Yeah, it's like even back then, even if they had assault rifle ammo, would people have used them? Probably not. But I'm glad they finally have the AR ammo that people can experiment with those. Am I going to experiment with any of them and try to get them to work? Of course not. But, some people can probably figure out some builds that work for their play style or something.
If people start figuring out some marksman rifles that are like competitive, and if any exist, the community will find them. I'm definitely going to try them because that sounds fun. It's different, and we haven't had a semi-auto meta in forever. Overall, on the weapon changes, that's the thing I most like about this new season, honestly. The new weapons themselves, I'm excited to try the EX1. I'm a lot less excited now. It just seems like it's not very good.
You were hoping it was busted OP or what?
I was hoping it was gonna, and maybe it will be, but I was hoping it was gonna be viable and like behave really different, so that it would be, again, like something I was saying, like mechanically unique and interesting. so that I could use something that's not just like another full auto AR. It's looking more and more like that's not going to be the case, even if it is viable. So that kind of sucks. But on the other hand, a lot of these weapon changes look really good on paper. The nerf to the 3 to 6x optic, the buff to snipers, some of the other weapon changes look good. And the marksman rifle changes. Those are like the big three things. I'm very excited to see how that plays out. And in like a week, once the meta kind of resettles, I'm very curious to see what the landscape looks like for Warzone. And we might have more shit being viable. I mean, imagine if a marksman rifle is like worth using, and also some snipers are too.
Yeah.
Because then there's still going to be definitely full auto ARs that are worth using. So then it's going to be like, holy shit. It's like a different game. Because yesterday it was only full auto ARs. That's all you could use. So then if we go from one weapon category to 3, that's going to be really cool. And a much needed breath of fresh air for Warzone. On the topic of everything else this season, don't really care. Peak's not that much different. No new POI. From what I can tell, very few reworked other POIs. I mean, some more dog shit that doesn't matter. A field upgrade, rage serum, don't care.
Only going to make the game worse, not better in any way
UAV,
ever.
Don't care. All of these little tokens you can loot, by the way. Some hidden patch notes for you. When you like kill someone or open a box, there's like a hero and villain token that you collect for the community event. These are very big, bright, and loud when you pick them up. And it's going to make it even harder for you to pick up the thing you want. And for what? Just dumb. More buy station clutter. Just dumb. It's just a lot of shit that's being added that I don't care at all about. Like, at all. The best thing they've added is what? The personal supply box? And even that, it's like a neutral thing they're adding. I'm not like excited about it. It's no portable redeploy balloon, for example. Something that we would actually care about. So the season itself, we'll see.
I think we're going to have some big changes halfway through.
Say again?
I think we're going to have some big things come halfway through, if anything, when we get closer to the launch of Warzone 2 and Dome 2.
So. I
think this is one of those seasons, like 2 seasons ago when there was like nothing on launch and then it all came mid-season up to. I feel like that's what we're going to get here.
Yeah, and we're going to get some crazy shit as Warzone 2 approaches, for
Stun
sure,
grenade launchers.
Obviously. And yeah, whatever the fuck that's going to be. But I think this still might end up being a very good season. Not because of the new content they're adding, but just because of the weapon balance changes. And this is a point we've reiterated over and over and over and over and over again, is that if you want to make Warzone fun, don't add flashy dumb shit no one cares about. Change the actual gameplay experience, which is what they potentially, almost certainly, have done with the marksman changes, the sniper changes, and that 3 to 6x nerf. That's what I like most about this new season. But it has nothing to do with the new operators and shit, obviously. So there you go. Those are the patch notes, and we'll keep you guys posted on that. We're gonna talk a lot on Patreon about this shit. There's a lot of good stuff to talk about here for bonus episodes. We'll talk about them on Saturday as well, or Friday, or Saturday. Whenever we're doing a podcast.
Friday. We're doing it Friday. It'll be uploaded Saturday, I think.
That's correct. So yeah, stay tuned for that. So that's that for the Season 5 patch notes. Not much more to talk about here. Private matches are currently disabled while Raven investigates an issue. This won't matter for the vast majority of you, but I wonder what that issue is. You have any idea?
Didn't say.
Yeah.
I don't know. This weekend, though, people were trying to run scrims for World Series of Warzone. Unplayable. They tried to run some like little scrim tournament or something. 3 games in a row crashes. They just stopped. They said, all right, we're not doing it this weekend. So they just didn't even bother anymore. It's just, again, so embarrassing that they have the World Series of Warzone exist with private servers the way they are. Like, why do you even think? Seriously, don't bother putting that money into this tournament. Wait until you have proper private servers, hopefully, ideally in Warzone 2, and then put a bunch of money into tournaments. Like, actually, it's just an embarrassment for you doing this shit. It's insane.
I agree. Yeah, it's hilarious. And it's like, I don't even know why they put private Warzone matches in at all. with how bad they are, to be honest. There has never been a private lobby.
They have no hit
with
reg.
everything working the same as the public lobby. There's always some discrepancy. Reses are slower. You crawl faster.
Your first
perks.
loadout drops at later time.
Yeah.
And they don't.
Always something.
It's like, why is that? Because they don't update the private servers. That's why. Right. It's not like they mean to have them different. They just don't give a shit about them.
Of course, yeah.
When they're having this like $1 million World Series of Warzone tournament, and then they still have all these. It's insane. You're playing a different game on private servers than you are public when there's a fucking World Series of Warzone tournament.
You literally can't.
Like,
practice.
What is wrong with you guys? How did you think that was a smart idea? But whatever.
Again,
that's why you don't compete in Warzone. It's embarrassing.
Again, Warzone 2, we're waiting, and they will hopefully learn from their mistakes. That's what every indication seems to be thus far, but there you go. So that is that, and now on to news and upcoming changes. Not much here, but a couple things we wanted to talk about. Charlie Intel made a tweet a couple days ago, which is not that surprising, but it is interesting. Warzone 2.0 has been rated M by the ESRB, and in the description says modes include Battle Royale, Plunder-style skirmishes / DMZ. So this is the first official reference to DMZ, and it is not attached to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. It's attached to Call of Duty Warzone 2, which is kind of interesting. And there are maybe a couple things we could extrapolate from that. But it's not that surprising. But the biggest thing here, I think, is this is the first official acknowledgement of DMZ. Is this rating by the ESRB? What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the fact it says... Well, it says plunder-style skirmishes / DMZ. And I'm like, why do they like almost combine those? Like DMZ is a mode of plunder or something. It's like kind of weird that they say it that way. Plunder style / DMZ. I don't know. Like that's a little weird.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because they didn't say plunder style skirmishes battle royale / DMZ. That's not what they said. Yeah, you're right. I wonder if that means it's going to be as unserious as plunder is.
That's
kind of what it sounds like, right?
So, as you know, we kind of have some confusion from that because it is in the Warzone 2 rating. So Tom Henderson actually wrote a little article for us to read because of that image that Charlie Intel tweeted out, and there being some confusion.
Yeah, so tell us about that article, man.
Okay, so new information supplied by a source who has access to a leading platform's database has provided information that sheds light on the confusion surrounding DMZ and its release date. A recent rating seemingly suggests DMZ could arrive at Warzone 2. As I mentioned, DMZ was in the Warzone 2 rating rather than Modern Warfare 2. Although this contradicts my previous reports that DMZ will come out as part of Modern Warfare 2 offering, the previously mentioned source has shown internal information that suggests DMZ is indeed coming with Warzone or Modern Warfare 2, which is also what we saw from the leaked screenshots from the NFL dumb shits. Who've been hitting the head too many times.
Exactly.
That they were playing Modern Warfare 2 and DMZ was in there. So it's like, you can't fake that. I mean, that was in there in some part of Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
So DMZ is referred to as Warzone 2 DLC in these internal documents with a release date of October 28th, which is, of course, MW2 release date.
Yes.
The reference to Warzone 2 DLC might seem unusual, but as previously reported, the DMZ will use the Warzone 2 map in some capacity. It's still unknown how the Warzone 2 map will be fully utilized, but only parts of the map being used prior to the Warzone 2 release date would be logical to give players a taste of what Warzone 2 will have to offer. So he's saying if we get DMZ on the launch of MW2, we'll have at least parts probably of the Warzone 2 map that will come a few weeks later.
For sure.
It's highly unusual for DMZ to be referred to as DLZ, especially when the mode will release before the main game, but in a lot of ways it makes sense. It's understood that the DMZ will evolve over time, likely becoming more in-depth as time goes on. The DMZ will not be free to play on launch, as previous rumors have suggested, but the possibility of this mode becoming free to play at a later date is a possibility.
Yes.
And you see games do that all the time. They launch paid, and then they eventually go free to play. That's unsurprising.
And
especially with if it's in the Modern Warfare 2 launcher, you're gonna pay for it. It's not gonna be free off rip.
Exactly.
Absolutely
because
not.
it's attached to Modern Warfare 2, which is never going to be free to play. So if it is indeed attached to MW2, as Tom is saying it is here, then by extension, DMZ is not free to play because you have to buy Modern Warfare 2. So that does imply that it is indeed attached to MW2. This is what Tom has been saying. This is what those, as Tanner said, the screenshots of those NFL dumb shits implies as well. And at this point, asking what DMZ is like related to or whatever doesn't even matter. It's like Warzone 2, DMZ, and MW2 are all so closely related that to say DMZ is an extension of Warzone versus MW2 is like a distinction without a difference. It's like they're all the same shit. So it doesn't really matter what you say it's related to, you know? So I don't think the rating page means that much in the fact that it's like mentioned in the Warzone 2.0 thing. It is kind of weird because the DLC will release before the game, but it does make sense, as Tom said. And I think people, if they're making a big deal out of this, are making a big deal out of kind of nothing.
Yeah, and you know, you can read the article, we'll have it linked. It's on tryhardguides.com, which is the website Tom writes for. Tom Henderson, of course.
One of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you guys can go take a look at that. But again, the biggest thing here with this story is it's an official acknowledgement of DMZ. So if any of you absolutely do not trust any leak ever, then this will be your first confirmation of DMZ.
Yeah, exactly.
So it will be coming in some capacity.
Becoming. Stop.
So anyway, you said it. You did it.
I just said it'll be coming because it will be coming.
You stressed it.
No, I didn't.
You did.
You stressed it.
All I said is it's coming as well. I said it's going to come.
No, you got it. You stressed it.
I was beckoning.
You stressed it.
I was beckoning DMZ to come to my PC. That's it. We're done. Not much in the way of news. Not much in the way of changes other than the new season, which is a lot. So that is that. Hopefully we have more news again regarding MW2 and Warzone 2 next week. We will be playing a lot of Call of Duty this week, especially. We've got a lot of Patreon episodes coming up shortly for this month. We've got quite a few more to record and release, so keep your eyes on the Patreon if you are a patron, and if you're not, patreon.com/thedropshot. We're doing a lot of fun and exciting stuff for September with the Patreon. Bonus episodes every month, monthly hangouts, ad-free episodes, early access episodes, all that coming in September. And it is once again the best way to support the program. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for listening and watching. Have an excellent evening, of course. And as always, remember, stay humble.
Double.